Hey, Izuku! Hey, wake up! It's time. It's the day. Come on, man, wake up. Cat, leave me alone. I want to sleep a little longer. No, it's time to go to the Quirk doctor now. Get up. Or do I have to beat you and get you again with my special technique? Fine, I'm getting up. Why can't Mom wake me up? Why does it always have to be you? Because we had the same room, idiot. Fine.
Hello, it is me, We Anime. Um, Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm sorry for the long wait for this What If to actually begin while the other two are already gonna be on their second parts. This will be a two-part, like, two videos squished together. Part one and part two. Last week I tried to record part one. It just would never upload. So now I'm here to bring you the actual first video of what if Deku had an explosion quirk. Or Bakugo's quirk also. Well, I mean, yeah. Anyways, um, this is definitely going to be a different one for the books for my channel. Um, Not really. I've done many videos before where like my Spider-Man one, I made these two technically siblings. Technically, I'm not going to spoil much if you would like to go watch it. They're technically siblings, but not in reality. Um, this one they are actually siblings in this. Um, right, same quirk. I'm not going to be switching characters around to just have them same powers. Right. Either way, anyways, they're twins. I feel like you can gather that by now. Very similar, except for personalities. Why, like more or less, right? But you'll be finding out later on. Today we're going up to the USJ. Hopefully, right? Hopefully we get up there. If not, if time, I have an hour and a bit to do it. Um, I have reasons. Okay. I have an hour-ish to get there, so without a further ado, let me get a drink of water before we start this, though. Okay? If you're new here, I do impressions also, and if I mess up words, I'm sorry. Um, Anyways, a new bit, well, not new, a bit that's been running on for quite a while is I get a drink of water before we start this. I also recommend you get a drink of water as well. Okay? Okay. I'm gonna get a drink of water, and then we can get into this. Anyways, so we're going to time skip from that day that was going to happen, where they were going to go to the Quirk Doctor, to many years later, all the way to the end of high school, to be exact. And yes, UA is going to be a university in this, a college. Okay? Okay. Bakugo and Izuku would be still very much good friends. Bakugo is quite jealous that Izuku does have the same quirk, but he was more jealous in his teenage years when you're kind of punky. I'm also in my actually technically I'm an adult now, but I don't act anything near an adult. I'm 18. I turned 18 last year. Yeah, sweet, sweeties. Anyways, um, yeah, going on throughout the years, Katsuki would be jealous, or not jealous, just he would kind of treat his brother as an inferior version of him with his supported complex, right? Like, you're weaker than me. You can't stand up to my greatness. I'll be number one while you're gonna be stuck at number two, right? He would be like, he's a higher being than Izuku. Even though they would have the same quirk, they still live with each other, right? They're still siblings. But over the years, everyone would be giving Bakugo this like greatness, like he's so great. Like he would be acing tests and doing great in every field, that he took in, right? But while Izuku, even though he would still have these high grades. He would still be neck to neck to his brother in grade wise and nearly strength wise as well. No one would see him in the same light as they do as Katsuki Bakugo, right? Which would lead Midoriya to be uh, inferior by everyone else's eyes. But still, in reality, technically greater? Technically? Because there would be so many fields in this that, well, he would get higher grades in. But Bakugo would still be on his high pedestal all the way to the incident. We could see these two walking from their last day of school back home, taking a longer route to talk over things. Right. Where they would be passing an alleyway as Bakugo would be grabbed by a thing? What? Midoriya, okay, I gotta pause here for a second. If I slip up and say Midoriya, you know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about our main character, right? If I'm saying Bakugo, it's for, well, Bakugo, Katsuki. I'm gonna hope to stay on the Izuku and Bakugo route, but we all know that's probably not gonna happen. I slip up words so many times where, hey, we all know how it goes. Right? Anyways, being snagged, this sludge thing would go looking the other way. Hey, I'm cutting in for a second to say the background noise is when I was, well, editing this, technically. While editing this, I was sweeping, like the ground in my recording place, right? So if you hear any noise, that's either me getting up, rain outside, or me sweeping. Yeah. Anyways, I'll let you all get back to where you were. Bye from editing me as fast as it could, which given is not that fast at all. Like, at all. Like, not at all. It's like a slug. Midoriya would go running in, yelling at this thing, "Hey, give him back!" As he would just start running. People who would see this on like the other side of the road of them or behind them would start yelling for a hero and calling heroes and telling them about this, eventually heroes would show up. The same ones as in canon, like Mount Lady, Kamui Woods, Backdraft, I believe his name was. There was one with a water quirk. I believe it was Backdraft, I think. Or maybe it was Power. I don't remember. And then there was Death Arms. Yeah. These two, these people, these heroes, not people, these heroes would be there trying to catch this thing as it would head into an alleyway, dumping something, and it would light a flame because there would be a wire, and then boom, just boom, 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 just fires would scorch the buildings around them, licking up the walls and on the ground. People would be trying to get the civilians away, right, and trying to take care of the fires, but they would still be saying, "We aren't capable of doing this. We can't. We don't have the right things to do it. Kami Woods can't get in because there's fire around. Mount Lady can't get in because she won't. She's big, big lady, gigification quirk or whatever. Death Arms doesn't. He can't get in either. He can't help. But there would be a up and coming, well, not up and coming, soon to be hero about to make his move. We can see Izuku heading around through an alleyway, like a couple buildings down from where this is all happening, going around, getting behind this thing. He would drop his bag somewhere within the alleyway, like the first alleyway he went through. In his head, he would be saying, I gotta do it. I gotta help wherever I can. Okay. He would start to study this thing's movements, its body, and then he realized its eyes is its weak point. Now I got ya. Then sparks would fly from his hands, starting to crack up. Let's see if this works. I know Cat won't be happy I stole his move, but stole his idea, but who cares? We can't really have that much of a different fighting style. We got the same damn quirk. Boom, 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 boom. Explosions would start to happen. Heroes would be hearing this and say, "What is going on?" Death blows would not death arms would say, "What is happening? It's the electrical people. You gotta get back before this blows." And then up above, he would turn back, and up above the sludge monster would be a kid, ash blonde hair. Hold on, sorry. Kind of muscular, but a slim, athletic, muscular deal. The sandy blonde hair, ash blonde hair. It would be a slicked back with like kind of frilling up because of the heat, with two bangs like going around his framing his face, a couple freckles on his nose and like cheek areas. Massive smile. This is where his explosive personality comes in. Usually he's calm and collected, quite humble,
mostly shy to new people and a relatively nice guy. But when he gets stressed out and well, not really stressed out, but say he was like watching the news and hero fights would happen. And this is where like he would be acting like his brother, like loud and just loud, excited for battle. See, one of his favorite heroes is the rabbit hero, Mirko. And listening to her interviews on a nearly daily basis, you would hear one saying repeated by her almost every single interview. And then there would be like that flashback moment where he would be like as like a 10-year-old or like 11, somewhere in like the early teens, later years, not later years, but early teens or barely teen age. And it would be Miracle on the screen with a interviewer with a mic shoved in her face. Not in her face, but like at her face. You get my point. Interviews. She would say, I live life like there's like I was gonna die tomorrow. I think that's what it is. Um Miracle. Okay, yeah. I live every day of my life like there's no tomorrow. So that's when my number's up. So that's when my number is up. I can check out with no regrets. This would be replaying in his head as he would reel back his hand. His hand would glow with intensity as he would slam it down right in between the sludge monster's eyes, as it would then boom, kind of have a delay on it, like a two smaller cracks that would blind him, and then the massive explosion would billow out. And throughout this explosion, you could hear another crack. Boom! Boom! That's when Katsuki would fly out, land on the ground, and just would start choking up the sludge. As then Midoriya would run over, but then a tendril of this green sludge would wrap around him. As then you would hear, do not worry, because I am here! And then, boom! Rain would then start to pour. I know. Hi again, it's me editing me. Um, I know a lot of my sound effects aren't good. I'm trying my best. I know it's not very good to pick up in the mic, but I try my best. I hope y'all know that. I just want to give you all that immersive feeling. In my day-to-day life, I am currently running a campaign in D&D, so I'm trying my best to be more immersive because I'm not usually the DM in my group. I'm usually a player. Okay, so yeah, it's just a new thing I've been trying to do to give more immersive feelings to my what if, to make it one step above the rest. Okay, because I know a lot of the others don't do that. Like they'll get crazy art and gameplay in the background, but I make mine a podcast format, more akin to like if you're just listening to a podcast and you just switch it on and just
go about in your day doing chores and do whatever. So yeah, I do one day want to get this on Spotify, by the way. So if any of you know how to, please tell me. I need to know, so that you all can go on there and listen to 'em. Anyways, I'll let you all get back to where you were. Bye from me. The number one hero would arrive. Ha ha! Thank you, child. Not child. I don't know why I did that last part. Thank you, but that was very dangerous. Now, now, I think is it death blows or death arms? I forget. This guy would run up, start berating um, Izuku as Izuku would start like helping Bakugo, but when you're helping someone like who's choking and you just kind of like tap their back, that's what he would be doing. And then that's whatever his name is would start to berate him. All Might would say, now, he did good. He stepped in. He was a real hero. Maybe you could learn something from him. And then I say we let him go. With a warning, um, is what I meant to say. Sorry. Then Katsuki would say, "Get away from me!" Really? I had that under control. Didn't seem like it. Idiot. As he would then walk past him, walk out. And then he would turn around. That's All Might. Then he'd start to squeal, like, could you, where did my stuff go? He would run out, like, quickly, as quickly as he could. Did you sign this? Yes! I already did. What? Like, his eyes would start to sparkle, like, he would be ecstatic about this. How did you? I did it again. I don't know why I'm like this. I always know where a true fan is. In your notebooks, they're quite fascinating. Anyways, goodbye. And then boom, just off he goes. Eat it, cat. As he would start booking it, as Bakugo would then start running after him, like, you get back here! You're gonna explain to me what just happened! And then time skip. 10 months would go by. Both boys, well now men, both brothers would train day in and day out until it was time for that very day. Their start to be their starting line to become heroes was finally here. The written exam would fly by, it would seem, even though it was like slow as a turtle, but that turtle would stand on two legs with a cane and magically fly by, it would seem. While the rabbit was combing its hair and just waiting at the finish line. Then the turtle would fly by. It would. After the written exam, though, which they would both do decent on, Izuku better than Bakugo, but that doesn't really matter. It would be time for the practical exam. You know, where they would go into the fake cities and robots would be around, 1 to 3 pointers, and then that one blue haired guy would interrupt. So he didn't really listen on that point, even though he did start yelling at him, Izuku, so doesn't really get why. He just kind of ignored him. Either way, heading to his his city, Bakugo would head to his, and Izuku would cross his arms and start to tap his right foot. It would kind of be like a rabbit, like Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny. How he kind of just crosses his arms and just starts to thump his like foot against the ground. Just I'm getting real tired of this. Or more in line, it's kind of like Deer from Gachiakuda. How in the recent episodes of them fighting against the Raiders, how he's kind of just annoyed like all the time. Just he wouldn't, but Izuku wouldn't be making the noise. He would just kind of look irritated at the moment, like, "Come on, can we just start this already? You know what? As soon as that stupid gate starts to open, I'm going in." And over the 10 months, Izuku's anger has been showing up way more than it has ever has in reality. Just, this is so stupid. Still the same slicked back hair. That semi slicked back. It's like kind of slicked back, but not really. The two bangs would just frame his face. And then there would be two random spikes of hair on top of his head. Like cowtails. I have one. I know his pain. It won't stay. They're actually called cowlicks. I forgot their name while recording this. The first part of the video. Yeah. Two halves, by the way. I'm sorry. I'll explain that later. Anyways, yeah. Now, if my hair is short, and it's so dumb. Either way, like two cowtails, but kind of like more like rabbit ears, to be honest with you. Wink, wink. Yeah, not the ship, but inspiration, definitely. I hope you know. I hope you all know what I mean. I really hope so. Anyways, yeah. Um, Going on, the gates would finally begin to open. And Izuku, I was about to say Midoriya, but Izuku is kind of in the back. Hey, would you please stop that? Yeah, sorry. I'm just irritated at this. I can see that. Anyways, Tokugami Fumikage. Izuku Bakugo. Well, Bakugo Izuku. Okay, Bakugo. Just don't call me. It's fine. Call me Izuku. It will easily save you so much time when you realize everything. Okay, Izuku. What's your quirk? Explosion. This is why I do this. My quirk allows me to excrete nitroglycerin sweat that I can detonate whenever I want. Well, that seems useful. Kinda. How about you? My quirk is Dark Shadow. Hi! It can talk. Yeah. What else do you expect? At least I'm not some short, six-armed freak. I mean, that's not like, no offense to like heteromorphs, but oh, I get it. I watched the Rustage Space Pirates D&D. Yeah, I love it. My favorite character is Pocket, but he also annoys me quite a bit after he like runs away and then comes back and then just kind of fires down on anybody. Oh my god, we're gonna be best friends, Bird. Dark Shadow. Okay, we're definitely gonna be best friends, Dark Shadow. You too, Tokiyami. And good luck in there. I'll see you in class. I would see you in there too. So, my video, the first one, cut off because of reasons. Okay? I think you all can hear me, but I'm gonna make sure. So, my video originally cut off from that point, right? So, that's why I'm here. To record this technically second part. Either way, let's just get into it so I don't ignore you anymore. So from there, the doors, the gates would start to go open. As Izuku would see this, he would blast up into the air with just blasting up with his explosions, and then boom, flying forward past present Mike as the other competitors uh, would start to complain. A lot of them, not all of them, right? They would start to complain like he should be disqualified or something, blah blah blah. Then President Mike would go on his spiel about there's no time limit in a real battle, so go go go, right? And yeah, Bach, uh, Izuku would say in his head, or he would say out loud, "I'm gonna try to set a new record." So he would go on to destroy robots left and right with his quirk. There is one thing different that he does than Bakugo, though. See, within his shoes, he would do some modifications. Now, did this absolutely piss off Mitsuki, his mother? Oh, yeah, definitely. But he did it anyways. As you know, there's sweat pores all over our bodies. So, he can blast off with his feet. See, Bakugo doesn't do that to my knowledge. He only uses his hands. Izuku can also do this from his soles of his feet. And other body placements that you will see in the coming, uh, well, minutes. Okay? So after, like, say, half the time would be up, the floor at the back would open. Or actually, nearly the end of time in reality. Uh, not the door, the floor would open. Izuku and many others who aren't in directly the middle line of the streets, who isn't in the main like street of this city, the fake city, would be hearing massive steps walking throughout. And then they would also hear yells and screams of, "Oh my god, that thing's huge!" And well, for the teachers, they'd all be looking at the small rat man, Nezu, the principal of UA. Not principal, but whatever the a university or college thing is. I don't know. Either way, he would be laughing hysterically. As then he would say, "Let's see what these kids can do." He doesn't sound like this, but I don't imagine him to. Anyways, Nezu, why did you do that? Because I wanted to see what they could do, Aizawa. It's pretty plain and simple. I wanted to see what these kids can do and what they're willing to do. Easy enough, isn't it? I guess. You better hope none of these people get hurt. These kids get hurt, or we're gonna get sued. Well, you're gonna get sued. I'm not part of that. Oh, but you can be. I hate it here. Back down to the students, competitors, whatever, whoever they are. We can see Midoriya looking out through an alleyway, looking down, well, but from his standpoint, up the street. Seeing this massive robot destroying buildings, rubble would be flying around, people would be running. He would see Tokoyami and Dark Shadow trying to rip some rubble up from a person, and he would go that way. Boom, 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 using his explosions to boost himself. He would make it and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Someone's under here." And then a voice would say, I need help, please." I then boom, that rubble would go flying in the air, ready to fly out, just like I was trying to do like a Gambit Channing Tatum deal. I just realized, yeah, no, I shouldn't do that. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm really surprised that there's women watching my videos. I'm very surprised. Now, given not as much as like male like people, but hey, how are you all doing? What are you like? Why are you all? What are y'all watching on here? Which what if got you into this? I'm curious now. Like I'm so curious. Like a Tundra, my Tundra what if? There's only been one video. Well, until this Friday. But hey, that's coming at some point. But hey, what? Are you okay? You got a thing? Are you trans? Like, no offense. Like, I'm just asking. Then never mind. I'm gonna shut up before I get myself canceled. Anyways, where were we? Right, Orok would be stuck under the rubble, busted ankle. Izuku would say, "Oh, come on. We got time. Here, grab her and hold on tight. Now, Dark Shadow, you're gonna have to trust me here." As he would grab his hand and start boom, 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 exploding away, and then he would spin around like like um like a lasso. Like Tokoyami and Orako would kind of be like a lasso in this moment, and then he would let go of these two, like Dark Shadow's hand as they would fly. Dark Shadow would wrap his body around these two, and they would fall to the ground like rolling. Midoriya, being the fact that he has 4 outlets to, more than his entire body is, he would have more outlets to speed up. He would about to be crushed, though. But, boom! Last second, he would get out of there. And good thing he did, because he would be turned into a pancake. No, literally. He probably would be turned into a pancake. Um, yeah, I'm just saying. That's just the truth. Either way, he would like bounce off the ground, scraping his back up a little bit, but that would be the least of his worries. He would say, "This thing isn't gonna stop, is it?" Eh, the head's usually the main point. A tearing sound would be heard. Izuku would be tearing like slits in his like clothing, his like the UA uniform. Okay, hands starting to hurt. Well, they already did, but let's try this out. In that one explosion, he would already be face to face. Like these were full powered explosions, not full powered, but like nearly full power explosions from this Deku or this Izuku from these 6 spots. Boom! Like his sides would, like his ribs would start to hurt. Like both sides of his ribs, his palms would hurt. His forearms would start to hurt as well. His feet and calves would start to hurt. But he would say, eh, I'll deal with this later. As then he would, both palms and his soles of his feet, his shoes are burnt off by this point, by the way. I do need new shoes, but hey, if I make it in, they can probably make me something. But yet, as he would fall, full contact. Boom! This thing's head would have such a big crater, and it would just go down. Its entire like circuitry in its head is gone, so it can't really do much. But either way, he'd kind of be fallen by this point. Good thing I watch these Shaolin monks. What they used to do with the sticks. I don't have a stick right now, but I do have 4. I got more areas. Come on. Let's hope this works. Boom. 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 These 4 explosions would happen greatly. It would save him from becoming a ground pancake again. But he would still hit a little hard. It would be like falling. Like, it would feel like getting like kicked by like a, like, no. Well, I just realized. No. It would kind of be being bucked by like a goat. I've been hit by a goat. I know how that feels. Like that's not even like a false thing. Goats are mean. Like straight in the stomach. It kind of reeled back and then boom. Like I puked in that moment, but not really puked. Like outwards. I did feel it moving. I just swallowed it back. That kind of gross. I know it. I know. But hey, like his entire body would be hurting at this point. Ow. As Tokoyami would run up and say, "Hey, stay with me here. I'm not gonna go yet." Yeah, not yet. You might need help to stand up. Well, my feet are hurting. I don't know. I'm not gonna make you carry me. That's just a little weird for first. This is our first day meeting. But, yeah, I would appreciate you helping me stand. Because my arms are kind of numb at this point from the pain. Why, is that like a side effect of using too many explosions or too many upper powered ones? And also, my ribs are starting to hurt like crap. No wonder Katsuki said not to do that. But hey, it made me go faster, did it not? It did. I watched. You went flying like a blur, but not really. I could track you. You just went up high and quite quickly. Yeah, that was awesome. At least someone thinks so. Okay, yep. Yep, okay, yeah. I need an ice pack. Probably multiple. Hope I pass. Time skip. 2 weeks later, we can see our main guy walking in the buildings of UA. Alongside his brother, they would both be very early on, like early. Like the first two people there in that class in 1A, they would both arrive. Then everyone else would arrive in the coming minutes. Around like 30 minutes for everyone to actually arrive, and then like talking, and then like Zal would walk in, and then they would all shut up, and then they would go outside. I know I'm going quick, but I do need to leave. I do still have something to do, but I lied about an hour, so I need to like to do it in like now, like in 30 minutes, so I can go. Anyways, they would all be outside in their PE um clothing, right? And they would all be waiting. Midoriya finally has his new shoes. Um, these are custom made by the what you call it? College workers. What are they called? Man, the support people, the support class. Yeah, these are already like they're prototypes of his like hero suit, like boots. So yeah, these are prototypes. They're not going to be the handle much, but they are still useful. They would have holes in the soles of the shoes, so that he can actually he can actually move with his feet, and if necessary, he can boot somebody in the face and then light like a firework basically from his feet. Like imagine getting like boot in the face and then your just face blows up. That would be so funny. Anyways, yeah, that's not Aizawa's voice. Okay, everyone quiet down. Okay, we need the person who got number one in the entrance exam to come on up. Bakugo would walk up and Aizawa would say, "Not you." What? As he would then walk back slowly to see what Aizawa to say. Izuku Bakugo, get up here. Katsuki would be irritated. Like, what? He got more than me? How did he destroy more robots than me? He would say this out loud, and Aizawa would say, "The practical exam is not fully for your villain points, the ones that you would get for the robots, destroying the robots. It's also hero points. Some of you may have figured that out. I don't really care if you did. He right here got the most villain points and the most, um, well, not the most, but the most hero points in this group at his place, at his fake city, with 101 villain points. No, I think it was the record is only for villain points. Yeah, 99 with 100 villain points. Izuku would like say, "Dang it, I wanted to beat the new All Might's record, but that's fine." And 60 hero points. He is the highest, and now tied with the record of All Might with 100 villain points in the UA entrance exam. Anyways, throw this ball with your quirk. What? Yeah, that way. What? We're gonna be, the test that you did in middle and high school, where you do like the practical and blah blah blah. Yeah, well, you're gonna do that now with your quirk. So throw. Okay. So what's my quirk? Yes. Yeah. Am I gonna get in trouble? No. This is a hero. This is a school for hero. So no, you won't get in trouble. Whoa, this sounds so fun! Mina would say. Yeah, this is so manly. Shut up. This isn't gonna be fun. And, let me be clear. The one that gets the least amount of points today will be expelled. Is it fun anymore? No? Good. Now, continue. Okay. He would take a deep breath in, breathe out through his nose, reel back, and he would yell out, "Go!" And then, boom! An explosion would rocket out, sending this thing soaring. Okay. I'm guessing you're here to set a pace for yourself, huh? Good. Aizawa would say that in his head. As then he would say out loud, "Okay, you got 805 meters." I think they were tracking it by meters. I think. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really remember. But I do believe it was meters. So, yeah, 805. Okay. Izuku in his head would say, okay, okay. And before you all also get to throw this ball, we will be doing the other test around. So, yeah. Going around doing the other test, Izuku would place high, but not the highest. Like for the long jump, using running and using his explosions, he would nearly clear it. Like he'd be a couple like feet short of clearing it. The speed he would place like second place behind Ida. Ida would still be faster than him, but using his full contact like mode, not mode, but like jet fang type deal. That's what's the name. Well, that's what he's calling it, jet fang. It's just picking two cool words and putting them together, and just boom, using them to rocket forward, and yeah. And then we will shoot around back to the ball throwing contest for Izuku to throw the first again, because the first time it didn't count, so that it was fully a test to see on how they would do, how they like the others would react. Okay, so Izuku would go up first, but before he would throw, but he would say to Aizawa, Sensei, I did already throw. Do You're throwing again? That first one didn't even count. Okay, sir. Okay, Sensei. Breathing out first, taking a deep breath in and breathing out through his nose. He would say, he would yell out, "Go!" Again. Go. Yeah, I feel like my mic may have cut out there, but go is what it was to say. So it would rocket forward, getting even higher this time. 825 meters. He would his arm would be sore from that. He would say, the recoil sucks. Either way, good luck you all. As he would walk back into the group and everyone would go, Bakugo, Katsuki would be one of the last few to do it. He would reel back, say his catchphrase, and well, as it would fly, saying his catchphrase. I don't think, I think maybe YouTube would be mad if I said it, so I'm not gonna say it. But we all know what I mean. Um, 785. I believe that was his canon. I think it may be 875 or 785. I'm just gonna have him have a lower this time to 785. So yeah, Bakugo would be pissed at this. I got lower than him. He'd start to seethe and just grind his teeth. As then we'll do a time skip to a couple days later, I believe, to their first hero class. It may be the first day. I'm not entirely sure on my mind timeline. I always imagine it would be like a little bit later, like a couple days later than the first class. So, yeah. I am here walking to the door like a normal person. Do 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 do. I don't know why I did like a whole entire background music for him, but I did. Anyways, All Might would go on a spiel about blah 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 hero costume, whatever. I do not remember. But yeah, they would all go to the changing room, and Izuku's hero suit would be. So they're in the summer times now, so it would be his first one. He sports a dark red sleeveless shirt with two slits at the sides of the shirt on each side, like two up and down, right? Not up and down, but like side to side. Horizontal, yeah, for his move, yeah, to go faster. Um, the shirt also has a hood. The hood would have two red dots on the top, side by side at the the end of it, like where like over the head. Um, with white detached sleeves, with two arm braces under his gunner bracers. What these are is a pair of arm-mounted storage tanks that stores his nitroglycerin-like sweat. These tanks have 8 different barrels. Yeah, 4 on each. Um, right. Um, that would have a trigger near his thumb at the bottom where his thumb is. Uh, these barrels would shoot multiple small explosions, kind of like a firearm, just going boom, 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 boom. Okay, small ones, just like distracting ones. Not like it would kind of like if he wanted them bigger, he could definitely get them bigger. But these ones are small for now. He's holding his palm out, and Bakugo like, yeah, pull that pin and let's see what happens. Boom, 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 boom. All over his body would have his his support gear, like his nitro mores, small squares that are also filled with uh his sweat, and nitro nades. Small containers on his. These would both be on his belt, like intertwining, like the square and then the nitronade, and then the nitromores, nitronade, like that. Then he would have his boom visor. The visor has a button on the side then where he would have thermal and night vision options for nighttime. Okay, let's get back to his hero suit though. Then he would have a pair of black baggy pants with a red strap on the right side, like going down and kind of like hooking around his like thigh. Um, then he would have tall black boots with 4 red dots on the back of the boots. That's where the boots would also zip up at. Then on his face would be the boom visor that go all the way around his head. There would be 1 red dot on the right side. That red side dot would be the thermal button, and on the yeah, yeah, on the left side would be a black button to wear night vision. Okay, so yeah, teams would be assembled in a very fashionable way, drawing. Yeah, flashy. Yeah, it would be Izuku and Ojiro versus Shoji and uh, what did my thing say? I had it written down somewhere here. Not Soji. Sato and Todoroki. Switches. How I chose these teams was pure
randomness. I had a wheel. I spun a wheel twice. Bing, bada, boom. Here we are. It would be the same, like, get the boom, boom, defuse the boom, boom. Right? Same situation as in canon, in the same building. Right? Anyways, we can see Izuku and Ojiro as the hero team for this matter versus Todoroki and Sato as the villains. Izuku would say, we don't really. We know the building they're in, but, like, we don't know what for. So I got two ideas. That one guy with the hot half ice that is a terrible suit. I really hope he changes it. Me too. It kind of weirds me out with the red glowing eye. I didn't even realize that. Anyways, I got a dumb idea. I'm gonna fly to the very top. Not fly. Blast up to the very top. And just bust a hole in the roof and start from there. I don't know what your plan would be unless you want to go up there with me. Do you think you could carry me up there? I could throw you up there. What? What? Yeah, I could throw you up there. Hmm? I could throw you up there. How? His hands would crack. Just ding 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 ding. Oh, by the way, I think he has gloves. He would have like black gloves. Yeah, probably just black gloves. I forgot to write it down in his like hero suit thing. Either way, he has like black gloves. Uh, yeah, yeah, I could throw you over there. When the time starts, clearly, and then I'll just explode away the roof, and then yeah, we'll just kind of hop down. Okay. And then if they're not on the top roof where we bust in at, I'm kind of just planning on drilling away like through the building. I'm worried. Oh, you probably should be, honestly. It's kind of worrying myself, but I kind of go with the flow at this point in my life. A very explosive flow. Eh. Either way. It rung. Bing, ding, ding, ding. Your team is allowed to move in. Okay, time to up you go. Put your foot in my hand. What? Yeah, I'm gonna launch you. Okay. Up you go. Boom. Oh, God. Damn it. And then boom, boom, boom. Man, given it's probably scary. So I'm not gonna judge you by if you were scared or not. Hope you're okay though. Yeah, I think I am. Good for you. Okay. He would rub his hands together and then he would yell, FBI, open up! A massive hole in the ground. Massive hole in the roof. Yeah, they're gonna have to get that repaired if they ever want to live here again. Stupid rubble. Anyways, you all in here? I'm gonna take that as a no. You keep on searching this floor. Go down the stairs. I'm gonna bust through. Get ready for a Big Bang Theory. Boom! Another hole in the
ground and then hopping down and then just walking around. Okay, okay, yep. Mhm. Where the hell are you? Dun 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 dun. Bum, 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 dun, dun, dun. Blow up. Excited, oh, oh, now I'm exploded. That's my moment. I don't know what I'm doing. Really? You hid here? Look, man, I was told to hide here, and then I kind of did, and I didn't. It didn't really work out for me, as you can see. The rubble you took opened the hole on this side, so I don't know why I made Sato like British. I don't know why. I just managed. He kind of looks like a British man. I don't know. Uh, anyways, yeah. Haha, I tricked you. Grab. Yeah, when you say what you're gonna do when you say it, it doesn't really work. Like, don't explode my face. It's kind of like it's my whole entire personality. Why are you British? We're Japanese, man. Boom, straight in the face, and then bop, bop, just a bang, bang, and he's down. Stop being British, you British freak. I swear, if that's an impression, it's a terrible one at that. Okay, come on, Todoroki. I'm coming through. Boom. Come on, let's put on a show for our classmates. Oh, there you go. Ha! Found you. Oh, Jiro, really? I mean, I can't really do much when I'm frozen. Uh, Ojiro would be a statue by this point. His head is the only thing showing. Um, really? What? Okay. Hey, Todoroki, how you feel about making a bang? How about me and you put on a show? Boom! Exploding forward, swaying a foot out, like he could already tell what Todoroki was going to do, and he was just gonna full on like ice block him or whatever. So he went to the side, dodging it, landing on the ice statue of Ojiro, and exploding it from his feet, and using that explosion to blast off and meet Todoroki head to head, who would make a massive like wall of ice that would be busted through with an explosion as he would as with one explosion and oh god, I don't know what to do. Uh, Either way, anyways, after busting through the wall, he would kind of do a flip and turn around, doing like a spinning back kick. An explosion would burst off of that right in Todoroki's like face, blinding him, kind of like a stun grenade at that moment. And then Izuku would turn around again and just like push him, like push Todoroki, and just like boom, using his explosion at the back to fly him forward, and then boom, a tail would be just hit him in the gut, and then kick in the shoulder would fly him down. Well, where is this thing at? It's probably this ice statue, huh? Well, let's hope this works. Just slaps it and it explodes. I believe we win. Hero team wins. Whoop whoop. And then time skip. A week later, I believe. Huh. Neat bus. Why does it look like this? Why does it just have a big UA symbol? It's dumb. He'd be saying this in his head. Like, that's so dumb. Why does it just have a UA symbol? Just blatantly painting it to, like, be robbed or something. Dude, you don't just do that. You don't see the president going around in a like a limousine and like a with a limousine with a big P on it, or a massive American flag or whatever flag. You don't see that anywhere. As he would go on the bus and then just sit down next to Tokoyami and say, "How you been? All right, I guess." Losing that fight didn't really make you feel good, huh? Oh, I thought it was better at hand to hand, honestly. You know, I've been really thinking about this. I do mostly use my quirk, but given I have been in a like a dojo to learn some actual hand to hand fighting. I could we can go. I can bring you on. I mean, given I know my sensei quite well. Good friend, good friend. Anyways, you can come along. I can take you after class tomorrow so that you can get better at hand to hand and you can fight two opponents at once, basically, with um, Dark Shadow, and well, you fight your side and he fights his. You know what? I'll take you up on that. Cool. Yeah, we can head there tomorrow after class, after school, and then yeah. Everyone, sit down. Shut up. You took 8 seconds too long. I'm sorry if you couldn't hear that, even though I think you could. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure about the range of this thing. Anyways, they would make it to the USJ with 13 waiting there and finding. Hi, I'm 13. I'm gonna make a speech that no one listens to. Yeah, no one listens. I don't know it. I don't know it. She would do her speech, and then they would head in. Making it in, 13 would start to explain on what they would do, as Kirishima would say, "Whoa, you all even got fake villains?" And after Aizawa would turn like, "Huh?" like that, and Izuku would say, Kirishima, "Yeah, I don't believe those were fake villains." What? Yeah, just by the way they're reacting, I don't think they are. Stop your mouth and Bakugo. Okay, just trying to fill them in. 13, protect the kids. I'll deal with these idiots. I'll deal with these ones. Going down and dealing with some pest. He's the ultimate pest uh, remover. I don't remember what they're actually called. Either way, heading in, Aizawa would start to get to work. I mean, we all know what he does. He just kicks ass and takes names. Anyways, heading in, Portal would open below. Midori would look down as it would open. Like, he wouldn't be in the middle of the class. So he would kind of just stand there and watch it. And then just blast up. And a portal would open above him. And as he would look up, he would say, "Oh, come on," as he would enter. Like, yeah, you're not escaping Mr. Kirogiri, dude. Anyways, he would land in the burning city. I forget the actual zone, but the burning one. Yeah. Making it there, and he would just look out. Okay. This doesn't really seem like a fair fight. Oh, hey, there's one of the students. I was really hoping for a girl. But I guess we'll fight you and then go have fun with the ladies of your class. This guy has like a long tongue, like that type of thing. And he would just, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna hurt you a lot. Jet thing. You could see the four like slits on his like sides would start to glow and crack. His palms would also, and then under his feet, even though you couldn't really see it, there would be like smoke, like billowing, and then ah, this guy would be hit in the stomach. Just boom, he would be sent flying, spinning the air, just taking out two other guys behind him, and just crashing into a building behind them. That would probably be around like 50, 30 feet from them, but they would go crashing in, and yeah, those three would be knocked out in like seconds. As he would then like be between like the other guys who would just look behind them, see this happen, and he would look like from one side to the other and say, "So, you gonna like do anything about this? Get him!" And one big guy would jump up in the air and like try to like body slant, like just splash on him. Izuku would look up and say, "Yeah, no." Boom, backwards, and then, "Ugh, man, yeah." Boom, is really what would happen. Midori would explode forward with his knees raised forward, and both of his knees would go straight into this guy's face, just knocking him out. And then, before he would fall down, Izuku would jump up on his shoulders, and then just like there would be two guys beside him, just boom, boom, just his hands raised up, and then he would jump up, explode the big guy again with his like left foot, and he would kind of spin in the air and then just boom, 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 firing out just multiple random explosions, just going anywhere with no with like a aimless deal right now, just scattering them about the villains about so they're not grouped up. Anyways, Jet Fang. Speeding up his entire, like, the openings on his hero suit would just, not openings, but his side, like, slits would just boom. And then the bottom of his shoes would glow a little bit. His hands would start to glow with intensity again. Boom. And then he would hit two guys at once, like, pushing them. These two would go flying backwards, taking down with their own, like, multiple other villains with their bodies. Hole in one. Wait, that's. Well, I don't remember the bowling thing. I didn't even really bowl as a kid. Anyways, We're all done here, I guess. He would just walk off. Time to go find more. Really? There was not another group in this entire city? Well, at least there's like a this place. Multiple sandy, like dark hills would be what Izuku would be walking on. Well, what are you three doing? Izuku? Uh, Momo would say, "Yeah, sup? Kind of tracked your heat." Anyways, what's happening here? Kind of three against multiple. Yeah, I'll help you out here. Before this guy short circuits. Anyways, sup? He would just say this to all the villains, just looking around like, where are these three? And then this one guy just stands out like, sup? Man, this will be fun. You all got like a pole or something? He would look at Mama and like Mama would say, a pole? Like a staff? Yeah, that. Or unless you can make like metal balls. I really want to throw stuff at this, but actually the metal balls might just go straight through them. So metal pole would be nice. Okay, make two. Yeah, two. Yeah, one to defend yourself, and then yep. He would start to spin on his heels and go, throwing this pole. It would just swirl around, just taking down like four people at once, all hitting them in like the stomach area, like just, and then yeah. Then he would take like two squares and hand them to Momo and to Momo, and then two nitro nades, one to Denki and one to Jiro. Use those carefully, as he would pick them up himself, pull the pin on both, boom, boom, just throwing them, just boom, woo, just throwing them into a crowd of, and they would just explode. Oh, I love being a hero. Does this count as being a hero still? I mean, using a grenade and claymore is probably not. I'll deal with that later. And then he would just blast off himself using his jet fang maneuver, where using the slits on the side of his coats and his feet, and using his entire body to fly forward, just hitting a couple guys with his explosion as he would go. The shockwave kind of would loosen everybody on loosen everybody, kind of like mess them up in feet work, so they kind of just fall over. Just hitting the big guys and having them fly through the air would kind of just be a funny sight, to be blatantly honest with you. Just like a massive, like muscular guy waiting for it, just to get hit in the stomach, and then just getting flown forward, just crashing into people, and there goes that group. Ah! He would look up in the air with a guy with like a blade quirk, like two blades coming out of like the side of his forearms, not side of his forearms, like out of his palms of his hands, about to slice down on the Midoriya, who would dodge out of the way and then just, yeah, no, explosively like launching his knee into the under this guy's chin, and he would slump down, just fall down. There we go. Anyways, you all be safe. You all should probably head back into the burning city, head over to the boat area, or if you can find more other classmates, group up with them. The plaza looks empty. I can just see a bigger. That's not even heat. Huh. Anyways, see ya. Take care. Y'all stay safe. And then boom, boom, boom. He would start flying off with using Jet Fang. Actually, is that the name of it? Yeah, Jet Fang. Landing on top of like the big dome of the plaza, looking around, scattered bodies of just villains and villains running up the stairs just to get beat up by Sato, Shoji, and other students. Izuku would say, "What is that thing? It doesn't have any heat coming off of it." Using his thermal vision, you could see Aizawa's heat, but this thing doesn't have any heat coming off of it. This big burly bird looking thing has no heat emanating off of it. Well, in that case, I can go 100%. I'll blind the fucker. Using Jet Fang to blast forward. Jet Fang. He would, like, as Aizawa would be broken and bloody and just beaten altogether. Izuku would fly in, grab him, boom, flying up faster, up to like the big group of students, about like 10 of the students, uh, like nearly a half of the students who would be at the door, would he would drop off Aizawa like, yeah, someone should check that thing's Sensei. Hey, watch out, Izuku, behind you. What? What the hell is that thing? As he would just swipe at it, a massive explosion just blowing it away. Damn, my forearm. God dang it. Hey, my forearm. What is this thing, by the way? No idea. He called it a Nomu. That thing's strong. You can't fight that thing. Run. Yeah, that's why you're up here. See, I'm not trying to be cocky or anything, but that thing did go flying. Unless that thing really cares about fighting anybody. I don't know. But either way, I'm trying to be a hero, and you're my sensei, so I kind of want you as my teacher all the way through, so you're not going to go down. So, hey, you will protect him. Swear, if you don't, I don't know what I'm going to do. Either way, bird face. Oi, bird face. And, hand job. Who are you? As he would then fly through, as the Nomu would try to jump up, but he would miss, like his swipe at Izuku's leg. Hey, zoom in's my thing. As they would go down to the ground, like slowly descending, the Nomu would hit first and try to jump up, but uh, Izuku would have more movement in this matter, just swinging out of the way, twisting out of the way more in reality. Nomu, get the kid. We'll make Eraserhead watch his student go down. Yeah, right. I'm not going down. As he would then point a gauntlet, his bracers. I think I called them bracers, but they're kind of gauntlets. Yeah, gunner bracers. He'd point one of his gunner bracers at Shigaraki in this moment and say, "Start dancing!" Boom, 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 boom. Just pulling the trigger at his thumb, multiple, just holding it down in reality. And these would just fire off just like explosives, like small little rubber bullets that would be covered in sweat. That would just ignite as soon as they get close. That would just detonate. Just boom, 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 boom. They would all be, instead of hitting Shigaraki, though, they'd be absorbed. Not absorbed, what am I talking about? Just hit, get embedded, not embedded, well, technically embedded, into the Nomu's body that would just, kind of like Wolverine, and they would just fall out to the ground. Oh, come on, man. Really? And then boom! In an instant before Izuku could even react, he would be just hit. Just skidding across the ground. Just he would try to find his grounding, and he would eventually. And he would scrape. He would say, "Oh." As Nonomu would then just start to stomp at him. And Izuku would stand up and say, as blood would like rush out his mouth, he would let the hood back. His visor would just snap and just fall to the ground. May's gonna hurt me. Yeah. Well, I guess it's time to put on a show. And he would start to pulling both triggers on the both bracer gunner bracers. Just boom, 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 boom. Holes would riddle the Noma's body. The holes would then just swirl back up and heal. Oh, come on, man. What is this? How is that even fair? Well, boom, 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 boom. Just an onslaught of explosive, just rippers, just a multitude of explosions would just be hitting the Nomu, who would seemingly be unscathed, just a lot of burn spots all over his body. Boom, boom, boom. One explosive would, like one hit would be straight in the top of this thing's brain. Just, it would kind of just stun the Nomu. Just like, It'd kind of just be doing that as Izuku would flip over and say, "How about that for a show?" It would screech, roar, whatever the noise is, and it would swipe at Izuku, who would duck under and then get grabbed by the other arm at like the at like his like shoulder torso, like his right torso, like right shoulder, like right side, and he would just be slammed on the ground repeatedly. But yet, using there would be like bangs everyone could hear. Like the students who would be watching this would start to tear up. Like, no, he was doing so good though, and he would be thrown. Izuku, who would be broken by this point, would be thrown away. Izuku's laugh would be echoing out, and you could hear Tokuyami say, "There we go. Let the shadows take you, Izuku." He would be up there in that group of here students. Izuku would be standing up, like his right arm, his left arm would kind of be like just twisted and broken, right? But he would stand up in this moment and just say, "I did say I was trying to put on a show, right?" Oh God, yeah. I really hate the taste of iron. If I gotta be truthful. But let me say this again. I'm here to put on a show. To show my sensei and these other students who the top dog is. He wouldn't actually say the whole entire who the top dog is, okay? I was just, but he would say, I'm here to put on a show. And that's what I intend to do. His palms would start to crack. His bracers are just broken to pieces by this point. His ribs would be hurting even more and more. You know, I got something above my brother. I got a new way of fighting. He would just start grabbing the what's left of his like support gear, like the one like his gunner bracers, his nitro mores, and his nitro nades, and he would just grab them in his like arms, and he would launch forward, just just throwing him at the Nomu, and then launching up as he would yell, "Omni, just discharge!" And they would all explode. Just bye bye. This thing's top, like his arms, just gone. His torso would have a massive hole in it. His leg gone, and they would all just heal back. Are you serious? Well, might as well try this. He would just clap. Boom! Oh, come on. I swear. And he has my leg. He has my leg. Get over you, damn freak. I hit the ground. Boom. I'm here. Oh, I should have been faster. All Might would arrive, and he would finish the job. Shigaraki would yell, "No Moo! Get All Might!" Or he says something different, but I'm not trying to get demonetized. And yeah, Izuku would be put in the hospital in the UA's medic bay alongside Aizawa. Yeah, those two would be beside each other. The other students who would be injured, not as badly as these two, but yeah. Either way, yeah, that's where I'm going to end it here for today, folks. Hope you all enjoyed, and sorry for the long wait of this video. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed the first and second part of What If Deku Had an Explosion Quirk. Roll the dice. Hope see y'all next time.